Thanksgiving. The word says it all. It's a day for giving thanks. It is finding a reason within ourselves to admit that we are not completely in charge of our success. It is coming to the cold and certain truth that we are not the master of our fate and the captain of our soul. Thanksgiving is a time when reality forces us to accept the truth that what we have, what we call ours, what we think we have earned, is a partial illusion. Of course, we have worked and earned and saved, and we think that we've cobbled together our life, and we've achieved our success through our work and our wits, but we did not do it alone. Moses reminded the ancient people of God of this essential truth. Moses said, "Do not say to yourself, 'My wealth and my power and my own might have gotten me this wealth,' but remember the Lord your God, who gives you the power to get wealth, so that he may confirm his covenant that he swore to your ancestors as he is doing today, beyond our own skills and abilities, beyond our own power and influence, beyond our own cunning and shrewdness, is the certain truth that all that is, including us, exists in God, and it is God who empowers us to do what we do and gain what we gain. Abandon that essential truth, that essential tenet of our faith, and you disconnect yourself from God's reality and place in life. God gives us the world, the raw materials, the systems and structures that enable us to live and sustain our lives. Without them, we cannot survive. With them, we can make a life for ourselves. And so the ancient people of God set aside at least one day a year when they offered thanks to God. They began gathering the harvest, but some of the very first fruits of that harvest were placed in a basket and presented to the priest, God's representative, and a confession of faith was offered. A wandering Aramaean was my ancestor. He went down into Egypt and lived there as an alien, few in number, and there he became a great nation, mighty and populous. When the Egyptians treated us harshly and afflicted us by imposing hard labor on us, we cried to the Lord, and the God of our ancestors heard our voice and saw our affliction, our toil, and our oppression. The Lord brought us out of Egypt with a mighty hand and an outstretched arm, with a terrifying display of power and with signs and wonders. And he brought us to this place and gave us this land, a land flowing with milk and honey. So now I come and I bring the first fruit of the ground that you, O Lord, have given me." With a confession of faith that God was the source of all that the people had, the harvest was celebrated and the feasting began. In the letter to the Philippians, we are reminded, do not worry about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. It is a good instruction. Too often we go to God with our list of needs and wants, and we fail to give thanks for what God has already done for us. Present your prayers and your supplications, of course, for God is not offended by our realistic recognition of what we need. But temper the lure for more with words and actions that bespeak thanksgiving. Context is everything. And when we begin with gratitude and thanksgiving, we may begin to see that what we think we need and want isn't as true as it might once have been. Thanksgiving, gratitude, appreciation, frame it as you will, it's far more than a day. For the person of faith, thanksgiving is a way of life. It is the recognition that we have received more than we could ever have expected. Thanksgiving is an expression of our dependence upon God and all that God has done, is doing, and promises to do. Thanksgiving is more than a day. It is a way of life. Edward Sanford Martin, the American author and editor, reminds us, Thanksgiving Day comes by statute, once a year. To the honest man, it comes as frequently in the heart of gratitude, as frequently as it will allow. He got it just right. Every year, the president proclaims a national day of thanksgiving, and that is good and right and proper. But to the person of faith, to those whose hearts have been enlightened by the presence and love of God, every day is Thanksgiving. So as you prepare to feast on food and football, make a few preparations of the heart and spirit too. Take time to make inventory of what God has done for you. Put into words those blessings that are yours from well beyond your own doing. Thanksgiving is more than a day. Thanksgiving is a way of life for those who are the people of God. And so we say, thanks be to God for now and evermore. Amen.